photo. That was all it took to destroy a man's entire life. A national security officer was having dinner at his friend's house. Everything felt normal. People were laughing, talking, enjoying the evening. Then his eyes landed on a photo hanging on the wall. And suddenly, his expression changed. The picture looked harmless at first, just a couple smiling together. But the background was the problem, because the place behind them wasn't some tourist spot. It was a top-secret nuclear research facility, a place so heavily protected that even authorized agents had to surrender every electronic device before entering. Regular people could never get anywhere near it. At that moment, he knew something was wrong. Trying not to raise suspicion, he casually asked when the picture was taken. The answer hit him like a punch to the chest. Because the very next day after that photo was taken, critical research data had been stolen from the facility. Now the pieces were starting to connect. Without changing his expression, he complimented a sports racket sitting nearby. Then he pulled out his phone and pretended to take a picture of it. But that wasn't what he was really photographing. He secretly captured the photo on the wall. What he didn't realize was that someone had been watching him the entire time. The woman's boyfriend, Luca, had seen everything, every word, every movement, and in that instant, fear started creeping into his mind. He knew his cover might be falling apart. Investigators started digging deeper. The woman herself looked completely clean, nothing suspicious, but her family had direct connections to the research facility. Now the theory became even darker. Maybe Luca never cared about the relationship at all. Maybe he got close to her for one reason only, to get access to secrets worth millions. But the real danger was only beginning. Luca was already exhausted from pretending. He had spent so long faking emotions that he barely cared anymore, but leaving wasn't an option. If his identity was exposed, things could get much worse. So he contacted his handler, but instead of panic, his boss sounded calm, too calm. Still feeling uneasy, Luca decided to test the situation himself. The next day, he drove out and acted like everything was normal. Almost immediately, he noticed something. Cars behind him, people watching him, faces appearing wherever he went. He entered a library. They were there. He changed directions. They were still there. Now he knew. The net had already closed around him. Then his phone buzzed. A new order from his boss. This time, he was told to follow the very agent investigating him. Luca froze, because suddenly, everything made sense. If he succeeded, the organization would keep using him. If he failed, he was disposable. The next morning, he covered himself completely and walked out, hoping nobody would recognize him. He barely made it a few steps. Then he saw them again, watching, waiting, and that was the moment he realized something terrifying. He was never an important player. He was just a pawn, and now even his own people had abandoned him.